Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful, beautiful time for Successes to Blanks. We are here, Series 2, Episode 2. What? It's and all those other lovely choice noises that you kids today like to listen to. Isn't that wonderful? Welcome to two old white men. We'll talk to you about a old person comic book thing. So, how is everybody out there today? What?
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was thinking, is this going to be spicy? No, it's just going to be quite dark.
I'm never spicy. I am the guacamole in this nachos of Successes to Blanks.
That's true.
You are the spicy Riquito pepper, my friend.
Oh, hell yeah!
Ole.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what
speaking
we chose.
This is the roads that we have walked down. My name is Luke, and I am an FLG owner based in the Pontypool area. We like to play Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I am the secret sixth member of the Sinister Six. I'm actually the seventh, the saucy seventh is what I like to refer myself as. Yeah, we love MCP. You want to come play MCP in South Wales? Come and have a chat, and we'd love to throw some dice with you. But I'm not alone. I'm here with my beautiful.
Hang on a second. So, Are you saying that it's the Sinister Six normally, but then when you're involved, they change their name to the Saucy Seven?
Yes, absolutely right. Right. Absolutely right. They're not sinister anymore. They're saucy.
No, Gwen, it's the Saucy Seven.
Their hot pants are too shiny. I can't see.
I'm Duncan. I am the Kingpin of Bristol MCP, apparently, according to our season 2 titles. I think it's apt because people have to go through me in order to get things done, and no one really wants to. They'd prefer it if I wasn't there. So I think that's true to Kingpin, isn't it? Like, he's a necessary evil, basically.
I was going to say it's true to you, but I don't know about Kingpin. So this is us. This is the dynamic duo that you're forced to deal with for the next hour, maybe. We'll see how we get on. See how much you like us. If you like us, stay with us. If you don't like us, I understand completely. And we'll miss you. But we're going to...
We should emphasise, due to various life bits happening today, there's points in the stream where I may have to shoot off and Duke may have to shoot off. So bear with us. Hopefully it's not going to interrupt things too much. It's that, I've got a guy coming to sort out our boiler, and it's that typical thing of it could be any time between 8 and 1. And you're like, cool. Thanks. I'll just hang around, shall I?
So once the boiler man arrives, you've got to go and switch on the GoPros and get the water running and get sadly stuck in the washing machine or whatever it is that he's coming to have a look at.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, you've arrived and I'm stuck. Can you help me get out of here, Mr. Boiler Man?
Oh no, Step Boiler Man, can you help me?
Step Boiler Man.
But we do have some very exciting news today. So we complained, but we didn't complain, but we kind of made light of the fact
you did.
That we
Nothing
never
to do
get
with me.
News. I mean, we're one and the same. So we don't kind of get interviewed from the guys at MG, but today, at some point later in the show, I believe for our Daily Bugle Bulletins section, we have an exclusive interview with Will Stick.
Which is very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting that Mr. Stick took a lot of time out of his busy day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're looking forward to it.
He's going to be answering a couple of questions. Yeah,
absolutely. And this is all thanks to you, Duncan, because obviously you are the man in there. You are the kingpin of MCP. You have these contacts. I'm assuming that we're going to get a live feed of him strapped to a chair with a bag over his head, knowing your sort of skills that you have. But
yes,
hopefully. But there we are. So we've just spent 10 minutes talking about junk. So look forward to the rest of the hour. Who's with us, guys? Say hi. Put your hands up. Let's go to our first section, shall we, Duncan?
Yes.
And it's a wonderful time where...
What you working with? What you working with? What you working with? What you working with?
I get to say these wonderful words. Yo, Duncan, what you working with?
So, do you know, last week I was painting rubbish piles and we joked like, haha, you'll probably still be painting them next week. Well, I'm going to show the chat this. See this?
Yeah, it looks rubbish.
Paint.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah? Well, that's not what I'm working on. I am still working on the rubbish piles.
Yay!
So, yeah.
It's rubbish.
I'm still working on my rubbish piles because after our stream last week, my work was still very busy. It was the last week of silly busyness, and I got no time to hobby. So I did get some games in, which we'll go over later and stuff. But in terms of actual kind of hobby time, I didn't really get any. So yeah. What about you? What are you working with?
I have been working with pain and misery regarding this wonderful section that we started playing with last week, which is What About Me, which we'll go into later on, I suppose. But otherwise, so what I've been working with, I haven't actually built the model of Maverick ever, and I've never even looked at his card before. So what I've been working with is building Maverick, so I can utilize him in my games over the next couple of weeks. But otherwise, as you say, it's what you're working with is turning into more of what's your excuse this week. I think that's what we have to rename it. What's your excuse this week? Oh, my excuse this week is that my leg fell off. Sorry, so I haven't been able to do any painting.
Maybe it's more of an aspirational thing. So it's not like what you're working with. It's like, what would you like to be working with?
Oh, okay. Will stick. How's that sound?
It's like... I mean, we can ask him later. But I think, maybe we can turn it into a bit more of a positive kind of what's your hopes and dreams rather than a kind of depressing tell us what you've actually been getting up to. Nothing.
I mean,
cool.
that's getting into sort of an existential type of thing, right? Like, what's your hopes and dreams, Duncan? I know, I'm not asking that question because I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what your hopes and dreams are. I'm not prepared for that.
My hopes and dreams is that I can figure out some more Disney intros. Because you may have noticed I didn't do one this week.
I mean, it was just dawning on me then as we were talking. I thought, I'm giving you an opportunity to do something, and I realised I should not be giving you that opportunity.
Yeah, I need to go back through the back catalogue and have a look at some appropriate songs that will fit in. But
that's disappointing, mate. I am disappointed.
Maverick. Anything? Do you manage to get any paint on him or
no?
Mate, no one's more disappointed than me. Actually, my mum, my dad, my wife.
Yeah, your 17 chihuahuas. It's really sad. I understand.
Yeah.
It's the chihuahuas that I feel more for. I'm sorry. But sadly, that's just the way of the world, isn't it? That's just the way of the world. So there we go. I didn't even bother building Weapon X either. It's literally just Maverick, done, right, it's built. So there we go. Yeah.
Did you manage to get any paint on him, or?
You just asked me that, and the same answer. No. Even this past 10 seconds of conversation. No, still haven't put any paint on him. Just thrown him into a pot of emulsion.
What about now? What about now?
Done. Here he is.
Nice. So I've gone for a Stevie Wonder theme. Can you see it?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I thought it was going to go to like an ebony and ivory thing then, but
someone in the chat says, just do the excuse of planning ahead to be able to create and complete a positive objective in regards to my hobby model's future developments. Well, that sounds like a bunch of wank.
Whoa! I was going to say, that sounds very highbrow and evolved thinking for this podcast. So really appreciate your input, Demon Revenge. We would like to have more of it. But Duncan said it sounds like a pile of wank. So there we go. You pick which one you want to go with. There you go. Wonderful. Right. Nice. Well, there you go. I mean, it's a very quick section. We haven't worked with very much, but we are excited, I think, for talking about our successes to blanks later on. So I think we've done an awful lot of gaming. I know I've done I've done a game. I think you've done a few more than that. So sadly,
Yes,
our sort of gaming life is a bit restricted this week. So apologies, everybody, for listening. But hold on, we've got more to come. I promise you that. So should we go into our bigger section? Should we do some woohoo or poo-poo? Woohoo!
Woohoo or poo-poo?
That's right, gang. It's the woohoo or poo-poo. This is a completely unique and individual section that Duncan made up himself with no help from anybody else. What are we going to do today for woohoo or poo-poo, Duncan?
The card selected this week by Joe is Mind Wipe. That's Mind Wipe.
So before we get into this card, what are we going to try and do? What are we going to do with Mind Wipe before we go into it? What is it all about?
We are going to try and wipe our minds.
Cool. That's not what I meant, but fair enough. I appreciate your input. I appreciate you, Duncan.
Woohoo or poo-poo. Woohoo or poo-poo. It is basically sleeve it or heave it for the modern generation.
What does sleeve it or heave it mean?
Sleeve it or heave it means we look at a card and we decide, is it woohoo, Mario woohoo, or is it poo-poo? And if it is poo-poo, where on the Bristol stool chart does it fall?
Who's poo-poo? If it's a Mario woohoo, whose poo-poo is it?
Solid.
It's what?
It is Waluigi's.
Waluigi's poo-poo or the Mario woohoo! I love it. Okay.
Yes.
So, what is Mind Wipe? Go through the card for me, Duncan. What is it all about?
Okay, it is a Uncanny X-Men card, which I think Joe, when picking this last lot, literally just selected all the X-Men ones, didn't it? Because I think we had, which was it, First Class last time? I think there's an X-Men one before that. So he obviously just kind of, was being lazy, bless him. This is Uncanny X-Men. It is a reactive card. Reactive means that you can generally play it either in your turn or your opponent's turn, depending on the conditions. So the conditions are when another allied character is dazed or KO'd by an enemy attack or superpower, which is very important. Professor X may spend 3 power to play this card. Now, just breaking that down a little bit, allied character doesn't mean it has to be an X-Men. It can be a splash character as well. And attack or superpower means that if it's from a throw, if it's from a clapback, if it's from a trigger on an attack, all of these kind of bits and pieces are kind of relevant. So then, Professor X immediately makes the attack shown above, targeting the enemy character that made the attack. So this is like a out of action attack sequence. The attack is unlimited range. It's initially 3 dice and 0 power, but the 0 power is technically 3 power because you paid it to play the card. It ignores range and line of sight. The target of the attack cannot be changed, meaning you cannot bodyguard, you can't do any other kind of bits and pieces, fallback, eye in the sky, any of those bits and pieces, because at the end of the day, the target is the target.
What's the psychic attack, I suppose, isn't it?
Dice to the attack. Yeah. It's like going just like that. And you add dice to the attack. Yeah, uncanny, exactly. You add dice to the attack to the damage dealt to the dazed or KO'd allied character. So, say, for example, your character has taken 1 damage in dazes, and then you want to play this card, it's a 4 dice attack. If the character has taken 7 damage because they've been spiked off the board, then it's a 10 dice attack. So it has quite a lot of variance to it. And then finally, if this attack deals damage, after the attack is resolved, the target character gains an activated token. If the target character was active, its activation immediately ends. So, thoughts?
I like this a lot. So I think we talk about this an awful lot regarding Jeopardy. I think there's an element of Jeopardy in there of when you can play the card because of the idea of the number of damage being dealt. So as you said, 1 damage to daze some of your character, and you're like, oh, now I get an extra dice against this. However, let's put it into like a real world solution. So if you've got something that does an awful lot of chain attacks, let's say we're going for Dormammu's Spender. Dormammu manages to do his spender, gets his trigger to then go do another attack into somebody else. And you can see that this chain might actually affect your entire team. Professor X is able to potentially stop Dormammu from carrying on the chain of 10 dice mystic, blah, 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 blah. So I hope this makes sense to viewers who are not very well aware of Dormammu, but he needs a certain amount of numbered dice to trigger to do his spender again into a different character, and then his spender again into a different character. So there is a small chance of Dormammu being able to daze your entire team if he has enough power. Professor X could shut that down immediately just by able to get some form of damage onto the attacking character. And I like that a lot. I think that's great. Same as like Apocalypse, or same as something big and bad and scary that's in the right position to upset a lot of things. I think this card can come in clutch. I don't think it's very good when you're playing, say, against something like a Sam Spam list where you've got lots of small amount of threat dudes and you're trying to shut down specific interactions. I think it's definitely, for me, it's in the top 10, but maybe not your 5 that you would start with. What are your thoughts, Duncan?
Okay. I think it's a bit about who the target is. So, for example, one of the kind of hot takes at the moment, and it's been this way for a while, is the shield double bubble. So, that for those who don't know, this is where you splash Zemo into shield, and you have the Namor Invaders leadership, and then you have Namor himself, and this basically creates a bubble where you're re-rolling lots of dice, including skulls, if I remember correctly. So if you're attacking a character in that kind of affiliation and you've only got 3 or 4 dice, the likelihood of getting damage through gets negated massively. Whereas if you're attacking someone like, say, in Hydra, where you don't necessarily maybe have access to as many rerolls, the option to just switch off a character from partway through their activation. Because often characters will, the ideal situation is to kind of move, attack, maybe do a superpower, or attack, then move, do a superpower, or attack. You know, there's being able to force someone to only have half of their activation, and then just suddenly that character's active, and you only need to get 1 damage through. Yeah. So, like, dice can spike, dice can also fail massively. So yeah, it does have a lot of jeopardy to it, a lot of jeopardy. I like it. I like the gamble. I like the risk. Yeah, I like this card.
I do too. Well, I'm just reading it now, looking at it, because just to go back to what you said about being dazed or KO'd by an enemy attack or superpower. So that refers to a throw, right? If you spend, like, you know, if Doc spends 3 to throw a size 3 thing at somebody and they take a damage and daze, that's a superpower. So if somebody is like able to do a throw to activate to daze somebody, and they still have 2 actions left, Professor X plays the card, has a chance to actually remove both those activations off. You know, it's very circumstantial. I get that, but there's a lot of different triggers that you can use off it to gain an advantage in a clutch moment.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely got, like, so for example, you get someone like what's his name? The Carnage. Like, he gets his trigger to paint the town red because he's dazed someone. You know, you're in this situation, obviously, normally the attacker's after action stuff happens first. Yeah. So, I mean, would this interject that? I suppose it would, because it's when the character's dazed and KO'd, isn't it? That's the timing for it.
We've got a timing here as well, because obviously you are looking at priority player gets to use their reactions first, right? So let's say it is Carnage's turn, and he's just dazed or KO'd somebody. So there's a few triggers that happen with Carnage then straight away. So they would have to do their triggers first, and then you can go, okay, so you've played your Paint the Town Red, or you've played your Maximum Carnage, or whatever you want to do that dazes someone. You get to do the pull, free attack, etc. Before you do that, I get to do my Mind Wipe. So you've paid your power, you've done all this stuff, then I'm going to Mind Wipe you, and you're activated, so you can't do any of that stuff. I believe that's how that works.
I think so. don't hold us to that. We can ask Will later. And
Mr. Stick. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, cool.
Mr. Will Stick in the interview later. Yeah.
So it's circumstantial, which is great. You know, I think it's circumstantial. It's got jeopardy. I like cards like this. It's not a guaranteed like, haha, I have now, you've fallen for my trap card, Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh. I get that. I think it's good. It's good.
So I think one of the things that like elevates this card for me is, unlike First Class, where we discussed this last week, I think it's a poo-poo because of the fact that, you know, it doesn't allow X-Men players to actually learn how to play the game, and it becomes too much of a crutch. I think this is almost like the opposite. Like, it takes a skill to kind of realize when's best time to use this. Like, it's that kind of, how can you utilize it further? Because nothing in this says that you can't add additional dice. So,
yes,
for example, if you've got Spectrum in your team as a splash, and you go, oh, I'm going to activate this, she could then spend 2 power to add 2 dice to the attack. So it could be that they've only dazed the character or KO'd them by doing 1 single damage, but then Spectrum adds dice to the attack, and then all of a sudden it's 6 dice Mystic, at which point that's going to be a bit more likely to get that 1 damage through to stop their activation.
Yeah, and the hammers work as well. So if Professor X has got 3 Mjolnirs resting on top of his little box that he drives around in, then he can utilize those for his mystic powers as well. There's lots of ways and means to affect this card. But for me, I'm throwing it in. I'm locking in, as the kids like to say nowadays. I'm locking in with a firm woohoo, dear boy.
Yeah, for me, it's a very solid woohoo. It's fantastic. I would take this card over First Class if playing X-Men and
you're
playing
a fool.
Professor X.
You're a fool. I take this card. I take this card and use it on Cyclops. That's how good this card is. And obviously, this is just our thoughts and feelings on this card. And as always, we love to hear about your thoughts and feelings on this card, you people out there in the real world. That's right. I'm looking at you there, right here. Yeah, you silly person. Get onto Spotify, get onto YouTube. You tell us exactly what you think of this Mind Wipe card. We'll have a little poll in our Spotify section. You just scroll down and give us a little vote, as we do for all of our woohoo or poo-poos. For example, last week's woohoo or poo-poo for First Class. Any thoughts on what the public thought on that, Duncan?
I think they understood my argument for why it is poo-poo and why X-Men should have that crutch taken away, or at least edited so that, you know, there is some kind of cost in order to play the cards. And I think they rallied behind me and voted overwhelmingly for poo-poo.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I was expecting exactly the same conversation, if I'll be honest with you, but for sensible people, and they were going to say it's a massive woohoo. Unbelievably, 50-50. The nation is divided.
What?
The nation is divided. It was a 50% for both. So there you go. You can't win them all, mate. You can't win them all. Can't win them all. So,
no, you can't.
So even though we should.
Interesting. Yes.
So there you go. So we're going to go into the next section. Whatever happens next week, we'll see what card it is. But if you can, as I said, make sure you guys get in touch with us. Let us know what's going on. We want to hear from you. But we're going to go into our next section, which is the Daily Bugle Bulletins. Here we go.
The Daily Bugle Bulletins.
That's right. What's on your front page this week, my little friend?
Well, I mean, before we get into our interview with Will, I'm not sure there's really been much news about. I mean, just trying to think, there's still the bubbling over from all the Decepticon stuff.
Yep.
The next character stuff available in the UK is Nimrod Bastion box, which is slated for the end of May.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything else being released before that. I suppose the only news I have is the UK Games Expo, which is...
Why would you know about that?
is one of the few official AMG GTs where you get all of their Magpie swag, and there is only 18 spots left for the GT. So if you're wanting to go, get yourself along. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's much that's really happening in the world of MCP at the moment. It seems as if I was listening to another podcast, Shock Horror, and it seemed as if they were saying that they chose to slow down the reveals because of the fact that there's such a long lead time between showing stuff and it being released that kind of gates the hype a little bit. And so they decided the only way to kind of do it is to reset this current reveal, and then going forward, when they're doing reveals, there'll be a much shorter window. So like with Legion, Star Wars Legion, they revealed there's a new army, the Mandalorians, I believe, and they revealed it, and it's going to be available in June. So it's like a much shorter window. So it keeps that hype going, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Rather than here's the Adepticon reveals, which are just the colour pictures of stuff we showed at Mini Extravaganza, and some of it isn't slated for release until Q4 2026. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So when do I get an onslaught? Oh. When's Juggernaut back in stock? Oh. So,
I get it. Yeah. I understand it. It's but we want to see more. I understand that. But I think the other thing for me for MCP was that the new store tournament packs have landed now. So we've got some the next season of store tournaments is all to do with Spider-Man versus Dr. Octopus, which is very cool. So we've got a beautiful plastic leader card for Amazing Spider-Man, which will be redundant in 2 months. But it's so pretty. I know. And some very cool like foil cards and some alternate art cards for your tactics as well. So if you can get to your local store for gaming, do it now. There you go.
There is four cards in the pack, and 2 of them are foil. But personally, my favourite is the Grand Illusion card. I'm not sure about yourself.
Oh my god, yes, mate. I am. Oh man, that was so cool. I was just like, I want to use that now.
Yeah.
I don't use Mysterio ever, and I'm like, I want to use that now. It looks so cool.
But it's like, why couldn't that be foil? Imagine if that was foil.
Yeah, we don't like the foil ones are just reprints, and I want to have the alt arts in foil and the reprints in alt arts. That's what I want. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There we go.
Technically, all of those kits are a Asmodee thing rather than an AMG thing. So
okay.
I know within the TO community, there's kind of often a bit of gripe about access to some of this stuff. And so you speak to the AMG rep, and they go, "Oh no, you have to deal with Asmodee." So you speak to Asmodee, and they go, "Oh, have you not spoken to the AMG rep yet?"
Yeah.
I don't care who I speak to. I just want my Magpie cards.
Exactly. Yeah. I just want to be able to go, "Hey, look at my Amazing Spider-Man card. I can't use it anymore."
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's nice that they're keeping up with with these kind of promo stuff, because it is a draw for players, and especially considering how they're not really kind of printing out updated cards anymore. So unless you're buying the kits new or stuff like that, then often you are using paper printouts. So when they are releasing these kind of updated character cards in the landscape format, it's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It makes you feel a bit more special.
It does. So should we get on with our interview with Will?
Is he waiting? Is he?
Hang on a second. I think my boiler man's come. A second, hang on. Yeah,
for God's sake.
Right, are you going to be all right to just do? I'm going to turn my camera off. Are you going to be all right to do the interview?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, right.
Okay. So we had a little comment earlier on about how professional this is and how wonderful this is. So massive apologies, everybody. So and also massive apologies to Will. Let me just see if I can get him into the chat a second. Okay, Will, can you hear me? Are you there, Will? Sorry, you're breaking up, Will. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, mate. How are you?
Great. It's great to be on. I love the show, guys. I love the show.
Massive apologies for keeping you waiting, Will. We were just having some technical difficulties, so I know that Duncan's been sorting you out to come on, so it's lovely for you to be here. Lovely to be here. Where are you at the minute?
I'm actually sat in a jacuzzi.
Amazing.
I'm sat in a jacuzzi. Yeah. It's important if you're working hard that you play hard. That's always been my motto.
I'm with you, hands down, Will. Absolutely. I'm sure all our millions of listeners will agree with you. Absolutely. Fantastic. So It's very special to have you on. Very special. I know you're very, very busy. And we look forward to.
I'm sat in a jacuzzi.
Of course. And you're enjoying the bubbles, I'm assuming.
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful. So there's lots of exciting things happening right now in the world of MCP, which is great, and it's great to have you on board to just chat about it. What's some of your favourite bits that you're looking forward to?
Well, obviously, we saw lots of lovely stuff at Adepticon, but there's a few bits we couldn't really go into. But I like you guys. I like you. So I'll go into a bit more depth about something that hasn't really been discussed yet, which is we're looking at introducing one-threat models into the game.
Did you say one-threat models?
Yeah, that's right. One-threat model. Because we kind of realised that a lot of players, they have their characters that they like, but the trouble is that often the threat levels of the crisis means that, they can't use it because they're short by that one threat. So we thought, let's introduce some one-threat models just to make it a bit easier for everyone.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I know you've obviously said that you weren't going to do any more two-threat models and you've gone back on that. Now you're doing one-threat models? Okay.
Yeah, well, so one of the ones we got in development is Uncle Ben. And he's going to be, you'll like this, Luke, because I know you're a Spider-Foes player. He's going to be Spider-Foes affiliated.
Okay. Go on. How does that work?
So basically, what he does is he can't really interact with objectives. It's one of the things we've always said is that one threat shouldn't be able to interact with objectives. But what they're doing is they're more kind of either buff or debuff pieces. So with Uncle Ben, basically, he's got very little health. And he, if he dies, then it causes trauma for the opponent player's leader.
Right.
And if you're playing against Web Warriors, extra. So basically, if the Uncle Ben character dies, then the opponent's leader he can't interact with objectives or attack because he's just traumatized.
Oh, I see. So it's like a detriment to the opponent's player. So it's a sacrifice almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like going, "Oh no, Uncle Ben, no."
Yeah, no, I get it. It's having that power.
Yeah.
Creating that feeling of, I don't know what the word would be. So that great power, creating some sort of sense of, dependability, I suppose would be I think that's how that phrase goes, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Any other one threats you've thought about or not?
Yeah. So there was one which we wanted to introduce as a main character because obviously it takes a bit of time to develop characters, and at the time this character is very popular from the She-Hulk show. And so we obviously wanted to try and go along with public opinion. So we tried to introduce Madison. That's Madison with a Y and two N's, and the Y isn't where you think it is. But we've just been really struggling to figure out what abilities to give her. I think we'll probably have something where, she'll just give your characters extra power if it's with Wong or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still thinking of that. But yeah, we got lots of ideas in the bank basically.
Okay.
We introduced Jeff the Shark as well as a one threat.
Yeah, I mean that would be my immediate go-to. Would be Jeff or I forget what the little Wolverine type thing is that hangs around with X-22.
Honey Badger. No,
yeah, that's the one.
No, it's Samuel, the little honey badger or something, isn't it? Yeah.
No, yeah. Okay. There you go, folks. You heard it first. Groundbreaker. We've got thank you for sharing that with us. Well, that's amazing. It's Will Stick with us right now, folks. If you're just tuning in. So again, the changes that have happened back in November seem to have gone down really well with the community. Is there anything that you feel your team didn't get right and are looking to change?
Well, it's funny you should say that because one of the things we've been looking at with all the play testing and the updates is we're thinking about just getting rid of range 5 from the game, because let's be honest, no one uses it, and it just seems a bit redundant.
When you say no one uses it, it's quite an integral part of like X-Men, for example, or also just for where you're placing objectives. Is that changing as well?
Yeah, we're thinking about that. We're thinking we might just convert everything into inches instead. So just get players to use a tape measure.
Ah, right, okay, interesting.
And then we can sell official branded tape measures.
Was there anything else you're looking to change, or was that the only one?
Yeah, well, actually, like, we're very happy with how the priority role's gone, like the changes to that, but we do feel that there is still a bit of imbalance. So what we're thinking of doing is introducing more priority roles in the priority role step.
More?
So at the moment, more. So at the moment there's 2, and we're thinking we'll introduce at least another one. So it'll be a priority role to decide who rolls first on the priority roll, and then after that priority roll, and you kind of decide to pick, sides and stuff like that, we introduce another priority roll for picking the crisis, and then we'll do another priority roll to do a priority roll to pick the threat level, right. And then we'll do a best of 3 priority roll to decide who goes first and to see how the dust settles. I think we've settled on about 7. It seems to be the sweet spot. 8 was too much. 6 it still wasn't quite right, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. That sounds interesting. Okay. Well, I'm also very conscious of timing here. Apologies. Don't want to keep you very long. We need to move on as well.
I don't want to get too wrinkly in the jacuzzi.
I can understand that. It's a very quiet jacuzzi as well. But moving on, we've got a new game that you guys are releasing, which is very exciting. Is there anything you want to add about that at all?
Yeah. So obviously, it's been revealed that, we're doing a new game alongside MCP, but there's another one we've been developing called MCP P&P TCG. Now, the P&P stands for print and play. So we obviously realised that TCGs is a big part of the market, and we want to get our footing on that. So we also realised that a lot of our MCP player base by now are accustomed to printing out their own cards. So we're going to be selling booster packs, but inside the booster packs are one-time use QR codes, and then you can use those QR codes to print out cards that you would have got in the booster pack.
Right. Sounds interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, we're very excited. I think it's got a lot of scope for it, yeah.
Well, we wish you the very best for that one. Thank you for that one, Will. And obviously, thanks for taking the time. We do have to move on. Very grateful that you being here. Really appreciate you. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our listeners before you go?
Yeah, obviously, we do realise that a lot of our core player base is wondering, will there be a new starter set each year? A new core set? Because we have been doing the new starter sets, and we are thinking maybe we do need a Steve 4 and a Red Skull 4 and a Crossbones 3, because it seems that's what players like. The second core set sold phenomenally well, so we just assume that let's just rinse and repeat. That it's what people want, isn't it? And hopefully, give it a couple of years, we'll have Crossbones 7.
Excuse me, sorry. That's 7th one.
No,
okay. Lovely. Right, amazing. Thank you very much for your time, Will.
Is there anything else, or shall I get back to my bubbles?
That's wonderful.
No, that's great.
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, you too.
And say
all right.
hello to Duncan for me. Has he still got problems with his boiler? He was saying about that.
Yes, he's sadly not able to see us. He's sorting out his boiler man now. So hopefully we'll get him back in a second. But thank you so much, Will. We appreciate your time, and good luck with the future.
Worries. All right,
cheerio.
Cheers, guys.
Cheerio. Bye. There you go, folks. You just had it there. Mr. Will Stick himself in the flesh. So thank you for that, Mr. Stick. What an absolute joy to have Will on the phone. Where have you been? You've missed everything.
How was it?
Incredible.
What's
and I can't believe...
incredible
stuff, mate. Too much to go back through again now. Have a drink, mate. You bet you... don't want to be...
I suppose we'll just have to listen. I'll have to listen back to the episode.
You'll have to listen back, I'm afraid. Well, I'll talk to you afterwards, but that was... there you go, Mr. Will Stick. Thank you for sorting that out, Duncan. And it was been some incredible stuff there.
Who knows? who knows? Maybe when they've got their next lot of reveals, we can have, like, now that we've got the in, we'll have like a regular interview as well.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, moving on. We'll go to our next section, and we'll have a time for you guys at home to have a chat with us.
It's listener questions!
That's right, folks. It is a listener questions time, and we've got our next question lined up from one of our beautiful listeners. Duncan, who have we got asking us a question today?
Okay, so our lovely regular listener questioner from Hambridge, 93-year-old Dan.
Again,
he's got a couple.
Have a break, Dan. You need to have a break. Good grief.
I mean, what else is he doing? He's 93 years old. He's accessing the internet. That's good for someone his age. Shouldn't criticise him. Jesus.
Sorry, I'm being ageist again.
He's got a couple of questions. So the first one is, I mean, it helps us fill the time. It's good. Have you ever won the priority role and then chosen to take either the east or west table edge as opposed to the more common north and south edge? If so, what did your opponent throw at you?
You'd be pleased to know that I have never done such a thing in any of the many games that I've done. I don't know. I may have swapped north and south once or twice, but 9 times out of 10, I'm on this side. My model's this side. We're staying this side. What about you, Duncan?
Yeah, I don't tend to swap board edges too much.
No.
It's often the game. It's less of a fact than other games for the amount of stuff that you have to have. So I play Middle Earth strategy battle game, and the amount of books, like various models, token, like trades, all of these kind of bits and bobs that you've got. It's a lot that you need on one side of the table. So if you put everything out and then your opponent's there, and then they go, "Oh, we're going to swap board size," it's just like. Really? Okay, that's fine. Like, it's less so with MCP. One of my locals who I play, Steve Cole, he's got a habit, bless him, even on friendly games. So we had some games this week and had the table set up in my house, and we're setting up, and he goes, "Oh, do you mind if we swap board sides?" I was like, "Can we just move the train to make it more favourable for you?" Like, So yeah, we just did that instead. So yeah, I've not done it. I know it's like from the higher competitive like kind of crowd, it does make a massive impact, especially at events where you don't have the luxury of just moving stuff around, and having a disadvantageous building in your deployment zone or something like that can make like a huge difference. I've had so many games where your opponent has there's an objective and it's on the edge of a building in your opponent's board half, and they can interact with it on the floor behind the building, and the only way you can get to it is by jumping up on top. So they're hidden, they have cover, they can't be targeted, but they can target you, and you're like, oh, for God's sake. So yeah, I can understand why I do it. I've never done like the east to west. I think they had it at WTC one year where they ended up having put something in the rules about like not rotating mats, because there's a couple, I think an American team, just to fuck with people, would just go, yeah, we're gonna play on this bit, and people are like, what? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. No, I don't like it.
This is definitely a tactic I'm going to be playing into my games, just to be naughty. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I'm all over that. I'm going to play upside down. There you go.
Yeah. So Dan's other question is, so apparently Apocalypse is getting a nerf. How do you think he should be nerfed, and how do you think he will be nerfed?
I think his nerf should be that he goes up to 10 threat would be his nerf. I would go with that one. And that he is only allowed one of his horseman powers.
Okay. See, I would change it so if his horseman dies, like, he loses that horseman power.
Mm-hmm.
Because like him on his own isn't as much of an issue. The issue comes from the fact that he's got these support pieces that get taken up to volume 11 with the kind of horseman abilities. And when you go to the effort of killing the horseman, but then the abilities are still on the table because Apocalypse has them. So I think if you do a thing where it's like winging it tokens for Star-Lord, it lasts to the end of that round, but after that, if the horseman's out of action, it's KO'd, you've lost that power. And I think that would kind of tone it down a fair bit. I'm not sure how they will change him, whether they remove some of the damage reduction he has.
Yeah, maybe. Like reducing damage and then healing or gaining a power or removing... It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. But hey, do you know what? These are the challenges, As I've said before when we've talked about the likes of Apocalypse and the likes of Bad Adam and, Guardians as a whole or whatever. They are top tier things. It's playing on hard mode, and that's fine. You ain't going to win every game that you ever play. Some teams are harder than others. It just is what it is. So, I feel sad.
There should be changes to the horseman as well, or?
Well, I think when you're talking about Apocalypse as a game piece and the team of Apocalypse, it works. I think they have this sort of synergy and this idea that he is the boss. I get it. He is the one that has given them their powers. So why shouldn't he be able to use them as well? Maybe I say maybe he shouldn't be able to use the powers while the horsemen are alive.
Ooh, and then when the horseman dies, then he gets access to the powers.
Yeah, so he's given them their powers, then he can take them away again. Because he's got that sort of...
This. I was going to say you should have mentioned this to Will when you're having a chat with him.
To be honest, there wasn't much talking to Will. He liked to talk. He didn't like to listen.
Oh, wow.
Very much.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He does like to ramble on. Bless him.
His silent jacuzzi. And I feel that... with the with the horsemen themselves, they are tools. And there's a card for Apocalypse where he can kill one of his horsemen to rejuvenate himself. And I feel that could come into the leadership a little bit more, as an example. So there you go.
Well, hopefully that's helped answer your question there, Dan. If you have any of your own questions, you can either leave us a comment on Spotify or on YouTube, or you can write in to our preferred method, which is via email at successestoblank.com. No, successesblank@gmail.com.
Smooth. Really smooth.
Smooth. As smooth
Lovely.
as the bubbles in a jacuzzi.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's go into our penultimate section, and we've got a little bit of a recap for you guys. It's our new section called What About Me?
What about me?
What about me, indeed? What about me? What about me? Having to deal with this junk. Honest to God. Okay. So last week we introduced a brand new section called What About Me, and it is all about those lovely little characters that don't get their recognition on the Longshanks registration. So Duncan had a great idea. What was your great idea, Duncan?
My idea was, how can I make Duke unhappy for every week of the year, but switch it up once a month? And so basically, we've taken characters that are maybe underrepresented, whether that's because they only work in their affiliation and their affiliation isn't particularly good, or they're not particularly strong, they're a bit under the curve in terms of the power level. And we picked one at random, and then we have to use that model in every game we play, whether it's at an event or in casual games. And we're going to kind of see what can we do to make it work. And part of the condition is we can't put it in Steve 1, because that's just a cop-out. It's easy peasy playing characters in Steve 1, because often power starvation is an issue. And yeah. And if we can, try and not play it in their home affiliation as well, to see, is there somewhere else where this character can slot in. So how did your tests this week or over the week go with Maverick?
Let's go with you first.
Okay, so we actually had someone called Perry Morningstar get in touch and send us an email, because I put this out onto a few different groups, and bear with me. It's a bit of an email, but I'm going to read it out.
That's exciting.
I have great amusement of having just seen your challenge for the first time about 3 minutes ago and have continued to complete it for around 3 years. I first got into the game in 23, and in that time, I've played with Punisher, Frank Castle, in around 90% of my games, usually one a week, and all but one of those of the tournament. So a 2-round and a 4-round usually each month. Most of the time, I admit I cheat the whole affiliation game because I play Dormammu. However, I do like throwing him in with whoever I decide to run. That brings me to the use cases and best practices. I acknowledge that your local meta and mine will be different. However, here are some key takeaways. So to give a bit of emphasis on this, or kind of explanation, I threw this challenge that me and Duke are doing out to the community as a whole, and we've had some people decide to take it up as well. So of our 13 shortlisted characters, I think it was, you could pick one of those characters and use it for the game. And there was a lot of positive responses, people sticking up for characters who they love, who they've got a lot of time for. There's a few characters that no one stuck up for. No one left abandoned. Morningstar is giving some tips for Punisher in case anyone else has chosen them as their What About Me challenge. Frank is probably the most straightforward character to play in the game. He shoots you and blows shit up whilst having a team tactics card that doesn't rely on him surviving after the power phase. Usually, when I have Frank on the board, he is in one of two positions. He either stands side by side or behind my biggest threat, or he is off on a wing doing damage up to the flank. When running him side by side, his goal is to play as a finisher, picking off the last bits of whatever my main tank hasn't been able to do. The rule of thumb here is not to let them realise how powerful an aim shot with 3 punishment tokens is, and to spend as little power as possible until ready to pop off. If you play him on the flanks, you have to be aware of size 1 terrain to accommodate war zone and energy economy, as you can't usually safely store up without reprisal, and the problem here tends to be a smart player will either single him out or go 2 for 1 for a quick kill and ignore him. Lastly, his tactics card, Blood Red and Personal, because Frank has to be alive to play the card but will not score it. The best thing is to get 2 to 4 enemy right in the threshold of being KO'd and then play it and drop everything to get the kills and the VPs. So lots of information there. And basically he's kind of saying the way he uses Frank is either as a support piece to kind of finish off what the big threat can't do, or to try and pick off those smaller targets on an unused flank, which I quite like. I quite like that. So
yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I was talking about Frank Castle, the Punisher, which is not the character we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, Punisher has use. We've got Maverick.
But yes. So if you have any of your own thoughts and queries about the What About Me challenge, please do send them in, and we will try and go through some of the key points. Maverick, I love him. I genuinely love him. I think he's going to be a staple in my lists. I ran him in 2 games in Mighty Avengers, which I know is kind of cheating, because we said shouldn't do Steve 1 because it's a power sharing team, and I put him into a power sharing team. But in the 2 games that I played, he was the only model that was left alive in both of those games.
Right. Well, that doesn't make him a good character, does it? It doesn't make him a good model because he survived. I mean, was he scoring? Was he interacting? Was he...
Yeah.
What was the deal?
Yeah. The whole time, like, his hit and run, I think, is better than his remove damage. The remove damage thing, it's so niche, because often there isn't that many characters that can do it, and it's great if it happens, but often if you're interacting with points, you're spending power. If you're doing the hit and run, you may not get the rapid fire trigger with your kind of 4 dice, getting that 1 hit. So the likelihood of having the power to interact and kind of do the hit and run, he has a lot of movement. Essentially, with the hit and run, you can move twice and attack, potentially twice because of the rapid fire as well. His adamantium knife, never used it. There was just no one in range. Like, he works really well, I think, on a flank as soon as you go against like higher threat characters, he's not really doing much. You kind of need to kind of pick him onto a spot where you either go, okay, I need a 3 threat to sit at the back and just hold the point. This guy will do it. Because there is still a lot of physical attacks in the game. And so I was playing against Kang Cabal and then Shield, Name or Shield, the 2 games I played. And like, you have that physical attack and they go, now I'm going to throw you or push you off the attack. And you go, that's fine. And they go, why? I'm just going to move forward. So, yeah, I think he works well under Mighty Avengers. You have that option of giving him extra dice on the attack with Spectrum and being able to kind of move power around. It's almost as if he starved the power early and then later on, because he's not doing anything. Like, he's never getting his spender off or very rarely getting it off. So you're in that kind of position of being like, I'm going to use him for his rapid fire and basically just pass the power on to other characters who need it. So he almost became like a mini power battery. It was good.
Great. I'm very, very happy for you that you used it in an affiliation that aided him. Great. Really good.
What about you?
He is such a vanilla 3 threat for Spider Foes. So Spider Foes, which is what I'm playing all the time at the moment, getting ready for this Swindon event on Sunday. Spider Foes are there's a plethora to choose from their 3 threats. They have got so much, a little bit like similar to the Avengers in a way, where you've got so many 3 threats you can just pick up and use, and they have different ways of what they play as. They've got different advantages, disadvantages, etc. I struggled to make Maverick worthy of replacing Lizard, as an example, or worthy of replacing Shocker, worthy of replacing Christ. Even Vulture does more than Maverick does in the Sinister Six, in the Spider Phase. We played, so I had a great game with Hugh. His Cabal list that he's testing ready for Swindon versus my Spider Foes, and I was like, really sorry, mate, I've got to do this. So I've got to take this guy out to put this guy in. And I did get lucky in the way that the map was. So it was in a diamond shape for the Blues, which is great. So I managed to keep Maverick at the back, just scoring points, which was wonderful. We were also playing, I can't remember what the blue was, but the red was cubes. So guys are taking damage as they're holding onto these cubes. So Maverick's great in that analogy because he's got healing factor 1, but then so does Lizard. Yep. So in that scenario, Lizard is still better because he's also affiliated. You got the kinetic energy absorption, which is great. If he gets dealt damage, then he gains a power and advances short. Cool. Lizard reduces damage by 1.
But it's only physical though, isn't it?
Very true. Very true. You've got the anti-healing factor, which is great, but if you're not if you're not going up against things like Rescue or Wong, or you got obviously the odd patch up which you could use, but you've got to be within range 3. So sat on the back point isn't going to help with his anti-healing factor. Hit and run is good because it can use with the rapid fire for plasma blaster. So as long as you're getting your hits, you're refunding hit and run, which is great. But otherwise, pretty much like he's 3/3/3 for his defense. He's only got 5 health. Like Blizzard is the boy for me, hands down. Lizard beats Maverick every single day of the week for this, hands down. So yeah, I did miss my Doc Connors on this particular game, but little things happened that didn't help me. So I did the spender on Agent Zero and didn't get the swirly, so it was just a waste of 3 power. Baron Zemo, who I was fighting against, refused to die, and left me a horrible bad taste in my mouth. He's got 1 health left. Okay, let's do the Plasma Blast. Pew, 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 pew. No damage after 2 rounds. Okay, cool. We'll do the Agent Zero then. Screw it. Pew, 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 pew. No damage. Oh my God, didn't even get the throw. It's ridiculous. Like, I couldn't even do like my surprise webhead card to give him another go again. It was just like, this guy sucks. It's just, I don't know. I didn't
so
like using
how do you think then you've not had as much fun and success with at the moment. So how do you think you can get him to work better if you're sticking with him in foes?
Well, so The idea with my foes at the minute is that there's not much room for 3 threats. I've got a couple of 4 threats, a 5 threat, and a 2 threat. That's kind of my shenanigans. However, if we're into the likes of an 18 or a 19 threat game, then maybe, yeah, we've got some maneuverability to stick him in as like an addition. But he does have movement, but he's on a small base. Spider foes are mainly on medium bases, so suddenly the tactics are gone out the bag a little bit. It's just one of those things where actually, do you know what? The affiliation is wrong for him. He doesn't work in Spider Foes as well as others can. It's just that sometimes that's the way the world. I have the same feeling with Punisher, listening to what you're talking about with Punisher from that lovely email. So I appreciate that email. But I don't think Punisher works in Spider Foes very well either.
Outside of Dormammu, he doesn't work?
What, Punisher?
Yeah, do you think he's a Dormammu only kind of piece? Or?
No, I think he'd work. I think he works well for most affiliations, in the sense like he working well in Avengers. I could see him working in Defenders. I could see him working in Cabal or Crims. I think he'd be a great Crim actually. I think it'd work really well. But you know, they just.
So what are you going to do? Because obviously we're still playing with Maverick for another 3 weeks. So what are you going to do to try and get him to kind of synergize and work better in foes if you're not going to be not playing foes? Makes sense.
Keep him on a blue and pray.
Have you tried just being super, super aggressive with him? So you go, okay, this turn he's just going to move, and he's going to go right up onto the opponent's back blue, for example. And, you know, if he dies, takes damage, gets moved off, he can possibly move himself back on with his kinetic energy absorption ability. If he gets dazed, the next turn he's starting with lots of power and can just take out whoever's on the point. And
I think going against certain teams, that would work. Certain teams would be fine. Yeah. But you look at anything that's maybe a bit... So I think like maybe the likes of, depending on what flank, going against Guardians might work that way. Avengers should be fine. Anything that you get into sort of the 5 threats or higher, I think he's going to struggle. Like, I don't think he's going to survive many one-shots, if that makes any sense. But, you know, I mean, I might be being a bit pessimistic because I've had a bad experience. I mean, that could just be the stickler that I've got to deal with. But
you say that he won't survive, but in the 2 games I played, he was the only character I had that was still alive at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he was on his healthy side with me, but that's because I did nothing with him. Like, he literally just, like, didn't do anything until turn 4. He just stayed on the blue and was like, oh, I'm going to move over here. Oh, I'm over here, and I'm on a blue. Oh, I'm over here, I'm on a blue. And I'm not doing anything. Like, he had 4 power, I think, by turn 4. That's like,
but then if he's a 3 threat, because 3s are in that kind of threat level where you can kind of sacrifice them to just sit on a point. So, say the game goes 5 rounds. He's scored you 5 points. Mm-hmm. So he's getting you points to get towards kind of completion for the game.
I get that. And my argument with Hugh was Bullseye would have done a much better job. So Bullseye's got a longer range, same amount of dice, guaranteed 1 damage, guaranteed 1 power every time he does his gainer. You know, he doesn't need to actually hit anything to gain a power. So that power then spent to do a damage. Like, he is guaranteed to do a damage every single turn. So, for example, that little tete-on-tete I had with Baron Zemo wouldn't have mattered, because I would have gone, haha, 4 dice. Oh, you survived. Right, spend 1, you're dead. Next one. And it would have been so much easier having a 2 threat in that specific scenario. So I suppose the learning point for me is that I need to expose him to more scenarios. Even though I don't want to.
So I had fun with him in Mighty Avengers, and I should say
use him in a different affiliation. Use him in an affiliation where he doesn't have power. All right, go for that. All I've got with mine is re-roll 1 of your defense dice. Give him a go at a place decent affiliation, you punk. How dare you?
So. Wow.
All right, go on. All right, next one. Put him in Apocalypse. Go on. Put him in Apocalypse. See how you get on with that.
So I'm giving a friend of mine a demo game this week, and he's got the X-Men starter set. So I'll be running Brotherhood, and I'll be sticking him in Brotherhood whilst playing against Uncanny X-Men. And I feel it's definitely going to be a different game. I should say the Mighty Avengers, I didn't run Blue Marvel at all, which, I feel that's quite a good toning down of what could be actually disgusting and busted. And I don't think, to be honest, I don't think. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I will. I think my next bit to try him on is in Brotherhood and see how he works there, basically, and see because obviously my Avengers is just a power share team, so it's different from Cap because you have to get that ball rolling. And
you tell yourself that. You keep telling yourself that, mate. It's fine.
And it wasn't easy with the characters I chose to run.
You poor boy.
We can get onto that a bit later, I imagine.
Right. Well, we have got our last section to go to. So to finish this one off, well done, everybody, if you're joining us with this challenge. It's a hard challenge. It's a fun challenge. And it's just a challenge for me to be salty about and for Duncan to have lots of fun because he keeps dicking me over with what he's doing compared to what I'm doing. So it's great. It's wonderful. He has fun. I do not. That's the way of the world. But make sure you stay in touch. Get in touch with us. Let us know what your experiences are of these challenges. And we love it when the emails come through. But don't be afraid. Stick it onto YouTube comments. Stick it onto Spotify comments. It'd be great to see that interaction. But without further ado, let's get to our penultimate section.
Huzzah! 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 Oh, for God's sake.
Successes to blank.
There you go. Successes to blanks. In a nutshell, this seems to be my gaming career. Is huzzah! Oh, for God's sake. So what's this section all about, Duncan?
So this is where we recap games and hopefully if we discuss a moment where we've had a titular moment of the show where we've had a success turn into a blank. So
Absolutely.
I had 2 games this week. I was meant to play on our meetup, but we had a couple of people drop, so we had odd numbers, so I stepped out and I ended up playing against Steve Cole, who is a local and is one of the top ranked players in the world. I think he had the Kabul badge as number 1 player for a while. Was on the winning WTC England team. A very competent player. And he wanted to try out Kang with Dracula. So we played Kang Kabul. And that was a fucking whitewash. That was a fucking... I looked at the team, I go, cool, I'm going to run all of the... I ran World War II Steve. And so Steve Carr was just like, cool, so what does... He's got, bodyguard, right? I went, no. And he's got this. No. What about that? No.
Hold on.
Yeah. But,
hold on. Right. Hold on. Did you put Maverick in that list then, Duncan?
I did.
Yeah. So you had a terrible time. Go on, tell me about your terrible time.
Yeah. It was. Where's my little notes on it? So we had. What were we playing? We were playing Legacy and Lockdown. And I lost 18-11, and there were certain points in the game where it was getting used to okay, what does Maverick do? Who's he work with? And World War II Steve, I forgot he's a 4 threat, and he's not very good as a 4 threat because you're oh, he doesn't do this and this and this, and it honestly felt like playing 4 threat down. So it definitely wasn't. Kang wasn't as much of a problem. What he did to other characters was a problem. Yeah. I had Black Widow 2 in there, and I kept doing her spender, which is 4 dice into Ironmonger. Tried to get the stagger thing off, and just failed every single time. But then the second game, he was playing Namor, Shield, Double Bubble, and this time I had all of the other kind of characters that used as much. So I had Ant-Man in there, Black Panther 3. Black Panther 3 was amazing. He's one of those characters where he either he hits all his triggers and it's amazing, or he does nothing. And he basically single-handedly took on Spectacular Spider-Man and Pepper Potts Rescue, and just him on his own on that flank just decimated and started moving around the board. Now, where he fell down was when he then tried to go into characters that weren't a 3 threat. And suddenly the dice just went, nah, I'm not going to roll any successes here. And there's a moment where Ant-Man, later in the game, in his tiny form, moved himself within 3. So he's within 1 of Zemo, and he punched him, and the dice spiked. And I was like, fuck yeah! And trouble is, Steve had so many rerolls with like Zemo, Namor, Leadership, Master Swordsman, like Recal, like the whole lot. And I think he rerolled dice 5 times, and in the end was able to kind of keep him alive on 1 health. Because of that, Zemo picked up a point and ran onto a point, and the game ended 23-14 to Shield. At one point, like had Zemo died that turn, and like Nick was left alive on 1 as well. There's so many points where it's like just one. Like had it not been for the mountains of rerolls, I would have won that game. Because it's like, reroll, alive on 1. So yeah, it was more lots of blanks being rolled into successes by my opponent, rather than the other way around. But yeah, super fun. Mighty Avengers is great. As I said, I didn't use Blue Marvel. I used Cosmic Carol, and I've not really used her much since she came out. Loads of fun.
She's hardcore. She is so hardcore.
Yeah, and Black Panther 3. So I'm really enjoying Mighty Avengers as a team. Yeah.
Captain Marvel 2, though. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. It's not Captain Marvel 1. It's number 2.
Cosmic Carol, as she's known. But I had Elsa in the team as well. Elsa and Monica, because they got a team up tactics card, even though Elsa isn't affiliated. And she was doing work. I've always got a soft spot for Elsa. So yeah, I'm going to be playing Brotherhood and with Maverick in this week when I'm doing the demo game. But I'm going to be sick with Mighty Avengers for a while because they're funny. They are a fun team.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
What about you?
So it's just to reiterate that game I had with Cabal is the only one I can really justify at the minute. So yeah, it was just, I think everything went really well in that game. It was a win in the end. I did win the game.
So you won, and yet this whole time you've been a salty bitch.
It's just Maverick sucks. It's not that I lost the game, but it would have been a lot easier winning the game if I'd had the team that I was supposed to have had.
Wow.
It was.
We got gold. We got gold. We won the world championship, but it's just sad that we didn't get a new world record. It's like,
exactly.
God.
We won the game, but wouldn't it have been really nice if Johnson was with us instead of Louis? We don't like you, Louis, but here's your medal, you bum. It's just one of those things. Like, it was one of those games where it was a real tightly fought game, and it would swing left to right. It was really cool, and then at the very end, it was just that round 4 where the Cabal guys came back so strong, and it was like Red Skull would like devour Electro, so that he had like 1 health left. But it was really fun thing. So there was a lot of blanks for old Hugh, because he would go to attack Electro. So Red Skull moves up to Electro. Electro spends 2, does 4 damage to Red Skull as he moves forwards. And Hugh's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry, mate. You just moved, so take all that damage." So, right, fine. I'll attack you with this attack then. Does 3 damage. All right, fine. I'll spend a power. You take a damage back, and now you have shock. All right, Red Skull? That's what happens when you fight Electro. Ha 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 ha. And then he goes, "Right, fine. In that case, I'll right, okay, so I can't move and I can't attack you. Right, okay. So then he's like, well, Ultron will just use patch up, and now I've got my 5 health back. So fine. It was just a lot of like, well, I'll do this then. Fine. Well, I'll do this then. Fine. And then I'll do this then. Fine. And it was just back and forth constantly between these two guys. And then towards the end, it was like, like Electro died then, but then I managed to kill Red Skull. Then Ultron was the only one left alive, and Baron Zemo was doing all these shenanigans. But yeah, it was fun. So it was a successes to blanks in the sense that the success was happening very early doors, and then all the blanks came towards the end of the game, and I was just struggling on. You know that poster of the cat hanging on the washing line, and it says "just hang on in there." That's what it was like. It was like I just got to defend this. I've just got to defend this. I'm recalling Doc Ock with 1 health left, going, he's got to survive on 1 health for this to work. Recal. Oh, it's all got terribly wrong. I've no longer got recal, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So, but yes, it did end up in a success, but there was a lot of blanks being rolled.
So have you got any games lined up this week?
Nothing planned apart from Swindon. So I think I'm going in cold, which is, is what it is. I got to go into a tournament, play 4 games with a member of the team I've tested once. Yep. I would, in all honesty, try him, like almost deploy him last so you can pick the correct flank for him. And then just play him super aggressive and just put him on the back point just to put pressure on the opponent. Because if anything else, like he's a 3 threat that would then force resources. Because like it's unlikely another 3 threat will be able to take him out like in a turn. You know, with his healing factor, with those kind of bits and pieces, and the fact that you can re-roll opponents' attack dice. So just really kind of push him forward onto a path. Opponent's defense dice. So I can't re-roll their attack dice. So he's great when I've got control of him. When I don't have control of him is when he lets the side down.
But maybe just play him super aggressive, because then it's going to force your opponent to just be like, why the fuck are you running Maverick onto my back point?
Oh, so you've not watched the show? Fine. You're not a friend of the show.
Not a friend of the pod. Yeah, and then I think you could then just it forces your opponent to have to deal with, like, put resources into a 3 threat that you don't really care about. So because you're actively giving off this, what's the word for it? Like effluence? This energy of disinterest with this character. It's just going to work even better. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what are you doing with Maverick? I was just going to stay there. What, on my back point? Is he not going to attack? Nah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not even going to do anything.
I'm so confused.
Yeah,
but I've only
got 1 damage left on my leader. Why would you not attack him? Yeah, I don't want to attack him. I don't care.
Yeah.
Pass.
But yeah, I think that try that and see how it goes. Join him almost last, because then it's another head fuck for the opponent, where they, like, normally you're putting your better characters last so you can kind of counter deployment, stuff like that. And when they go, why is they putting Maverick last? What tech have they got with Maverick? Something's going on with Maverick. And to them, there's nothing. There's nothing going on with Maverick.
And it's the truth. Nothing is going on with Maverick. It is the truth.
Yeah.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. But there you go.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So try having him super aggressive, yeah.
So, yes, thank you all very much, you lovely peoples. If you also have any successes to blank stories that you wish to share with us, please get in the chat. Get in there, will you? Tell me now. We want to know and share in your despair. So, if you want to, get in touch, get into it. But there you go. As always, we have severely run over our time. But what an absolute joy it's been.
I'll add one last insult to injury. Ooh. While you were chatting about how much you love Maverick, I've built Bad Adam. See that?
Yes, I can see.
So wonderful. Maybe I might try Bad Adam out with Maverick next after.
Can you imagine? Can you absolutely imagine? We're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy with Maverick now. Yeah, sure. Just use all the good teams, mate. Crack on. You just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. As I like to say, you can go off people very quickly.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So next week, the show will just be hosted by Luke.
Yes, unfortunately, the Boiler Man came back and killed Duncan in his sleep. But there you go. Also, I hope your boiler's fixed or everything is hunky-dory.
Yes,
so,
I think it's all sorted now, luckily. It's a shame to miss out chatting to Will, but I can just give him a chat later.
It was a shame. I'm sorry you missed that. Wonderful. Until next time, true believers, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.